Jeopardy! No,
Beep, beep, beep. No, sorry, Chris.
have you ever wanted to be on Jeopardy?
No.
No, you have not. Oh, see,
Sorry,
I turned
I was
myself
super loud when I said
No. I turned myself down because you're always low in the mix, so I was trying to. Now that sounds good.
Okay.
You've never wanted to be on Jeopardy.
I like watching Jeopardy and occasionally getting questions right and feeling accomplished because of it, but I don't think I would do well on the show itself.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would either. I think it's one of those things where, not to get horribly off topic, but
How?
but I have a basketball hoop at my house. We've had it at my parents' house since I was a kid, and I like to play basketball, and I like to think that I'm not great at it, but that I am capable, right? And so I went to Canopy Lake Park a few years ago with my folks when I was in decent shape, and I decided I was going to do the 3-point whatever to try and win like a tiny stuffed animal for my kids. I was not convinced I was going to do very well, but I thought...
Yeah, considering the hoop is approximately the same size as the ball.
Well, no, this was like I think it was.
I think it has to be doable. I think that's why, the ball is slightly smaller than the hoop, but like it's not like a regulation hoop.
This was so just to be clear, this was not one of the permanent installations that's been there since we were kids at Canopy Lake Park.
This was over by the water park area.
Yeah, no, this was near the front of the park. They had installed that year at least a not a full basketball court, but maybe not even a half court, but something along the lines of like from the free throw or the 3-point line to the basket. Except here's the thing, Steve. A real basketball is inflated, not like the mostly deflated balls around my house. That's what she said. And also, when my dad... I don't know if you were around.
I wish everybody could have seen my reaction to that joke.
I don't know if you were around when we poured the cement and put up the basketball. There were a lot of people around that day, so I feel like there were friends and stuff around.
Was this before it became Max's enclosure?
Yes, I think so. Well, I mean, so Max's enclosure was to the left of that, and had been the Doberman.
I don't think I've ever seen you play basketball in our entire life.
I like playing basketball. At any rate, when we put the pole up there.
You just swung around on
I swung around that pole like I was training for my future.
Scraped your anus on it and or nutsack.
Rub my butt cheeks all up and down that thing just to get the ladies in the crowd all excited.
Yeah. And of course, the next performer up wipes it down.
With what? Oh God.
Usually one of those Clorox wipes.
I imagine that they were wiping it down with their labia, which would be bad. I was like, ooh, that's gross. You just made me think that I did something gross, but I'm glad that what you were thinking was something nice. And
nice
that they were wiping it down with a cleaning solution. I thought you were implying that I made it gross for the next person.
Yeah, you did by wiping your butthole.
Can we were supposed to not talk about what the places where
I think that should be like the gym, like you're supposed to wipe it off when you're done, and so the next person doesn't have to wipe it off.
Do you think so? Okay, well, since we broke the seal and we went there anyway, do you think then that is the responsibility of the performer who has just performed?
I mean, it should be, but it isn't. But I mean, when I would go to the gym and I would go onto the elliptical or whatever, I would wipe it off before I used it because I couldn't guarantee that the person...
Right.
So, yeah, maybe it should just be the person that's about to perform...
Should wipe it off.
Should wipe it off just because putting the onus on someone else, you're going to set yourself up for some weird vaginal disease.
I think a really talented performer could then make that cleaning part at the beginning... part of the beginning of her routine, right? Like if you bring out a thing of Clorox wipes and you're wiping down the pole, but you just happen to wipe down the pole sexily. I mean, it's sexily. No, okay. So I did not rub my butt cheeks on the basketball pole, which is now flaking and has been flaking for years, and so I probably would have gotten paint chips and lead poisoning in my anus. No, I would
just in your anus.
Just in my anus.
It wouldn't go into your bloodstream or anything.
No, I would shoot hoops there, but the trouble is that hoop has never been regulation height. And so
because the Clarks aren't a tall breed.
Well, we were not able to get it all the way up. I mean, that's another thing you could say about we Clarks. But so I went to Canopy Lake Park and I shot hoops, trying to win my little children some stuffed animals, and I did not get one basket in. I'm not even sure if I made the rim. It was a disaster. I was humiliated, and I think that might have been the last time I was in shape. I drowned my sorrows in some fried dough, and it's been all downhill since then.
So you were shamed by doing a next to impossible carnival game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
something that, like, I mean, usually one of the carnies will razz you so they'll get you to spend more money.
Right.
No, but these aren't carnies. This is Canopy Lake Park.
Yeah, and this was just a couple of guys who were probably doing their best, and they did a very good job of not laughing at how inept I was. These were two young men, I'm guessing probably in decent shape, who probably could have dunked on the fucking thing if they wanted to. And here I was, a 30-something, heading towards 40, and thinking that I was hot shit because suddenly I'd gotten rid of my gut for a couple of years.
But like not having a gut does not make you good at basketball, Chris.
I know.
My gut is mostly gone, and I couldn't shoot a basket to save my fucking life.
I'm just saying, but I practiced basketball. I just practiced on a hoop that was at the wrong height. So if the hoop was at the height at the house,
go to the Y and play there.
I hear that I can't.
It's fun to stay there. Is that what you heard?
Yes, I did hear that once upon a time. So I mean, going back to
young man.
There's no need to feel down.
No.
So going back to Jeopardy, what I think is that in the comfort of my own home, I would kick everyone's ass at Jeopardy. But, if I were put up there on stage and Alex Trebek were right over to the side, mustache, you want, or not mustache?
Classic mustache.
Yeah,
style?
I need a mustache. Alex Trebek without the mustache would be. I don't even think I could make it.
Who do you think would be a good host of Jeopardy if he retires?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they should retire the show. I just don't think there's anybody. There's
nobody that could ask or say sentences and then have people answer in the form of a question.
Did you watch Price is Right when you were a kid?
Yes.
Okay, so I did the same, especially in the summer times because it was on at 11 a.m.
When you'd be rolling out of bed.
I'd be rolling out of bed, and I would get up. I'd watch Price is Right with Bob Barker. And have you watched Price is Right since Bob Barker retired?
Yes.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, but Drew Carey doesn't do a bad job.
It's not good. Drew Carey is Drew Carey. Like, he's not Bob Barker.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's serviceable. It is made it so it continues to be
ruining
a thing.
Drew Carey is ruining my childhood.
Fuck you.
He is. Drew Carey is ruining my childhood. You want to know who's not ruining my childhood? Because the other thing I would do in the summer
Alex Trebek?
No. Well, he's not. The producers of Days of Our Lives. These folks are not ruining my childhood, and here's how. So in the summer times, I don't know if I've ever admitted to this.
You can stretch right up and touch the sky when the weather's fine. You got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. Continue.
My mom...
if her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Do what you feel mean, like, just bang her, I guess, is what he was insinuating. Songs. They don't age well.
No.
I mean, I think media doesn't age well in general.
No, and yet that actually ties into my point here. So my mom has been a dedicated follower of the soap opera Days of Our Lives.
Like the sands through the hourglass. Exactly. These are the days of our lives.
And they didn't try to fuck that shit up. MacDonald Carey, even after he was fucking dead, his voice is still the voice you hear at the beginning of Days of Our Lives. I was gonna say. All right. So they didn't hire fucking Drew Carey to say, and sands through the hourglass shit. No.
Okay, well, on Saturday Night Live used to be Don Pardo, and now it's somebody else. They can't have somebody like, ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday Night Live as Don Pardo, and then like when he's announcing the names, somebody else doing it.
They might not be able to do it now, but they will be able to soon. I mean, you've seen those videos about the fake videos and how easy it is to make a video of Barack Obama giving a speech that he never gave. So, I mean, somebody's got to be out there working on the Don Pardo robot. I'm just saying.
Why does it need to be a robot?
I think maybe you go far enough. With a fella like Don Pardo, maybe you want to have an artificial intelligence.
It's Saturday Night Live.
So my mom has
he used to be the announcer of Jeopardy.
Oh,
like way back before it was Trebek.
Interesting. Oh, like meaning the host or
no? He was just the announcer.
Oh, is Trebek the announcer as well?
No.
Okay, but you're saying
there was a host of Jeopardy before Trebek.
Yes, I am willing to admit that. Just like there was a host of the Tonight Show before Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
couple.
Steve Allen.
Steve Allen, I remember. Wasn't there might have been others. So my mom has been watching Days of Our Lives since the 80s, maybe even. And so especially in the summertime, I'd come downstairs, I'd watch my...
watch your stories.
No, I'd watch my Wheel... I'm not Wheel of Fortune. My Price is Right. We'd have lunch, and then by 1 o'clock... or maybe it was at noon at that point, you got your Days of Our Lives, and then after that was Santa Barbara, where Robin Wright got her start. Man, just gonna throw that out there.
Edgar Wright,
Robin Wright.
I don't know who that is.
Robin Wright Penn, like The Princess Bride, House of Cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Forrest Gump, but she's not Robin Wright Penn anymore. She's Robin Wright. She ditched that asshole. So.
When she makes a mistake, does someone say, "Sorry, you're Robin wrong"?
When she makes a mistake. No. So.
What? I had a point about Jeopardy. When I mean, on the rare occasion, because we haven't watched it too much.
Yeah.
When we'll be watching it together, Becky and I always chastise her for not phrasing it in the form of a question.
Oh, and I'm like, can't get away with that.
I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, playing at home. But right. If we were
you
each playing on the show, like you have to be like, what is such and such?
Yeah, you got to be ready.
Who is?
I mean, what happens if Alex Trebek shows up at your house and he's like, "We're doing a special edition of Jeopardy." You could win. You could win enough money to pay off all your debts, all your friends and family's debts, and live comfortably for the rest of your life. And it comes right down to it, and you don't phrase it in the form of a question, and you're out in the first fucking round. And they go to your neighbor, and your neighbor's like, "Yeah, I know how to do Jeopardy. You don't want that." And all of their friends and family get.
Then Biden's there. He's like the first dog contestant.
Yeah, right. So my mom watched Days of Our Lives.
No shit.
And
I remember not being able to, when we'd get home from, John and I would get home from school, yes. We wouldn't be able to touch the television until after a certain time.
Yep.
Because
the soaps were being recorded.
Because she'd be at work.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And so...
and then when she would get home, there would be dinner time, and then she would retire to the bedroom and
she'd watch the soaps and fall asleep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I because I was around, I got in, and because I'm a storyteller, I got interested in the stories. At first I was like, this is fucking stupid, because especially at the time that I started to pay attention was when they were kind of at their wackiest, but if my mom wasn't around, and my dad was around in the summer or something, it was like I couldn't go downstairs and watch the soap opera. So I had a TV up in my room,
and you would watch it upstairs.
I would watch it upstairs, even though it was being recorded downstairs. So I am familiar with the classic canonical cast of Days of Our Lives. And here's the thing, Steve.
Are they still around?
They weren't, and then they brought them all fucking back. When people basically stopped watching soap operas, it seems like they got all of these actors out of mothballs, and all of these people that were in their 20s or 30s when I was watching this show in the 80s on the sly, or in the 90s on the sly, they don't look like they've aged enough. Like, I don't know how much plastic surgery is going on in some of these people, but it's miraculous.
Come on, Chris. I mean, look at us. I'm about to be 40. You are in your 40s, but we don't look remarkably old our age. People still card me.
Let me go a step further. Some of those people were probably in their late 30s, early 40s.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so now these people are in like their 50s, their 60s, and they still look like soap opera stars. Like they look slightly older than they did way back when, and it's really disconcerting. So I will sometimes come home, especially on Wednesday nights. I get home late. So after everyone's had dinner, all the dishes are cleaned. My kids and my wife are upstairs, and so I'll walk in the front door, and my mom will now be watching her soaps, which were recorded earlier in the day. And sometimes I'll just be mesmerized because I'll see fucking Hope Brady over there, and she looks like, I don't get it. So they are not ruining my childhood.
Well, she doesn't have to record them anymore because she can just watch them DVR.
Yeah, DVR.
Well, DVR, or she could just like.
They might be on demand, but
yeah, they
DVR
should be
stuff.
on demand. That makes no sense that they not be like something that is serialized for like 25. 30, well, no, probably like 50 years at this point.
Yeah. Oh, it's been around for a long time. I remember at some point in my college days, or in my really bored days at my first job out of college, going to, if not Wikipedia, which might not have been around at that point, going to like read up in the entire history of that soap opera to try and understand and fill in the blanks between when I kind of paid attention because I was a little kid and my mom watched the soaps in the summertime, and when I watched it on the sly as a college student who was totally bored.
We used to watch Passions when we were in college.
That was the one that was on after Days. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah,
I think so.
My roommate would get high, and then we'd watch, because I wasn't really
that seemed like the sort of show that was good to get high and watch. I don't know. I've never been high.
We used to watch Nick Jr. We used to watch a show called Oswald, which was about a talking octopus voiced by Fred Savage. And it had Squiggy as a penguin, the guy who played Squiggy. I can never remember the name of the actor.
Yeah.
But like he was like, "Hello, Oswald."
I bring all of that up, Steve, because I don't understand why they haven't been working for years on a robot replacement for Alex Trebek so that they don't have to ruin my childhood. It would save them a whole lot of fucking money.
Can you just tell me on the reg?
Yeah.
How many times? Let's just say a year you watch Jeopardy.
Oh, these days, zero.
Yeah. Okay. So your childhood is ruin proof.
If I wanted to go and check out who was on Jeopardy,
it's on fucking Netflix. The classic fucking Jeopardy. You could watch it with him forever.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I maybe.
Just as long as you don't, let your Netflix membership lapse.
No, that's the one we kept. We got rid of Hulu and HBO, and we would get rid of Amazon, except that Amazon Prime is still useful. But we did take it off all the devices because we're like, you know what? If we want to watch something, we're either going to buy it or we're going to look for it on Netflix. If we can't get it on Netflix, we'll wait till we can buy it. If we really want it or rent it, and if we really want it that bad, and it's not one of those places, then
you can go to Redbox.
Too bad. Yeah.
There's still Redboxes?
There are still Redboxes. There's one at the Walgreens in Chelmsford, and the trouble there would be we don't have anything that can play a disc.
Oh, yeah.
In the house at all. My mom's VCR DVD combo is broken. Sorry. The DVD drive on my old iMac, which is in the girls' room, could theoretically play a DVD.
You should just get a PS3, and then you'll have a Blu-ray player.
I could get that, and then I would have to deal with another addiction.
What addiction?
To video games. I would have video games at my disposal, and then
you have video games at your disposal right now. You have a Wii hooked up downstairs. How often do you play it?
Never. But how often would I play a Blu-ray? I don't need a Blu-ray. I've got Apple TVs where I can play all the movies that
Sometimes you just need something physical in the vicinity. Yeah. Can't get off from some sort of magic internet fucking penis.
You know what? That they I think those things
or
are
vibrator or something.
Did I told you about Chatterbait, right? Did I tell you about Chatterbait?
Yes.
Okay. Did I really?
I think so. It was like when you were talking about sites.
It's when I was talking about the fact that I'd given up my paid subscription to an adult website, and I was looking for,
because your students knew. And
no, I was looking for something where I could view titillating content for free and not feel like I was robbing anybody, because the people
you could watch real sex on HBO.
I had canceled my HBO subscription.
Oh man. Are you gonna reactivate it when Games of Thrones
comes on? Yes, I will. And then I'll cancel it right after until Westworld comes back. So anyway, on Chatterbait, the couple of times I visited it, I saw this thing.
Is it like chat roulette? You get to watch guys jack off?
I think there are rooms for that, but it's not like chat roulette in the sense that you have no control over it except to press the next button. There are a bunch of previews.
Well, that's chat roulette. You're like, oh, that's another guy jacking off. So you're like, next.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not like that. This has, a whole. It's like any of your tube sites or any. So
it's like Twitch.
Yes, and you I guess, I don't know. I've never been on Twitch.
They play video games usually.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. But these people are not playing video games. They are playing with themselves or playing with each other. But sometimes they have a device either inside of them or strapped to them that can be controlled through
a DVD.
No, through the internet and through it looked like. Because I think the way that the Chatterbait thing worked is that you gave coins to people. So you buy the virtual currency.
But you buy Bitcoin and then you pay people in Bitcoin.
And if enough people give a performer enough coins, then either the little thingy that they've inserted into themselves starts going off, or the people who pay enough can make it vibrate.
What if you like?
So
if you're like a real like. Not miserly with money, but you're miserly with cumsies. You're like, I'm paying a lot of money, so I'm turning the vibrator off.
Oh, that sounds mean, Steve. Why would you be like that, Ebenezer?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Ebenezer Spooge.
Sure.
Can that be the title?
Sure.
No, we've got a great title. We just haven't said it yet. We said it before the show. So we've been talking.
I'm not going to say it again on the show. I don't want that to be the title.
Okay, well,
Ebenezer Splooge it is.
No, Spooge, not Splooge. Splooge is actually like a video game on the Nintendo, isn't it? Splooge.
No,
I thought that was. I thought it was like
Splooge is the thing. Spooge.
Spooge is
no. There's an L in there, Chris.
There's not an L in there. Hey, if you want to write to us and let us know, hot@clarkwoods.com, is there an L or isn't there an L? Pause the podcast right now in case Steve figures it out in the next sentence.
I'm gonna.
But I want you to write in and tell us if you think that it's splooge or spooge. I do not believe there is an L. If there's an L, it's silent. That's my contention. I truly believe this. I was going to take a sip of water, but I realized Steve is the one looking for things, and so now I have to be the one to talk.
There is a frickin' L.
Okay, wait. Did you look up the other version?
Okay, hold on. Okay, spooge.
Do a Google Ngram search and find out, where it shows up in literature.
Oh, I guess we're both right.
Thank you. Now, is there a distinction? If we went like and dove deep into like Urban Dictionary or the Slang Dictionary or whatever, would we discover that splooge is an offshoot of spooge, or vice versa? That's
Ebenezer Spooge.
Ebenezer Spooge.
I don't think it's worth.
No. But so we're talking about Jeopardy.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
We are talking about Jeopardy, and I wanted to ask: is there, if in the days when you watched Jeopardy, was there a particular topic that you were just like I don't know, you kind of sat forward in your seat a little bit if you saw that one come up there?
No, but there would be categories that I would do well on. I think I remember it was a couple of friends going away party from work, and we were at a 4K'd.
Right.
And Jeopardy was on, and so we were just watching it, and there was like I think a manga category. And,
okay.
And I fucking all of them got them all right.
Was there a double Jeopardy in there?
You mean a daily double?
Oh yes. Yes, daily double. See, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Was there a daily double under manga?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, no, that's a bummer.
But they were all pretty like easy questions, not easy for like the average nerdy smart person.
No, but
they were very easy for somebody. Expert. Well, I wouldn't consider myself an SME.
No, you're not an SME when it comes to the manga.
There weren't like big digs. Like there were like, fucking Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon. It wasn't
Yeah, so it's well, this kind of was my way of transitioning into a very important question that I asked on the Twitter and the Facebook while I was writing this morning. And I realized that you're not on either of those all that often. You're not on, you're not really on Twitter at all anymore.
I don't tweet we don't tweet the show anymore. That was what I used to do.
Forgetting. That's on me.
We're not in love anymore.
But you're also, you're on Facebook every once in a while. So,
I keep forgetting. Things will never be the same again. He's playing at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom. Michael McDonald.
Oh.
How you made it so clear. I keep forgetting. Anytime you're near.
So could we make the title Ebenezer Spooge and put a picture of Michael McDonald?
No.
All right,
I don't want that blue-eyed soul singer to be associated with Ebenezer Spooge.
Okay, all right. So the question that I asked, and I realize I want to ask you because this is our forum, and you don't have to answer right away. We're about halfway through the show, so if it takes you the rest of the show to answer, more power to you.
If it's something that will take me a while, I'll say just get back to me.
Okay. So the question that I asked, and this was apropos of the chapter I was writing this morning, was if you could have sex with one important historical figure, just one, who would it be? Do you need time, or is that the sort of thing that you feel like you could? Now, I don't have an answer yet.
I mean, like up until the point of right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah.
But they would have to be dead now.
That was my thinking. My thinking was it would have to be somebody that, because in the context of the chapter, there's sort of time travel and magic-y things involved, and so it was that kind of thing. It wasn't just like, oh, I want to go back and have sex with this person that I never got to have sex with when we were younger. It really is like I was thinking historical figure preferably dead.
Okay.
But I think thus far I've only gotten one response, and I really liked it. It was from a follower on Twitter, and she said Helen of Troy because she'd love to see what the fuss was all about. And I feel like I've got a great joke that's brewing based on that. I did do some research after I posted that on. I think I was looking for. The first thing I looked for was something partners.
Do you have an answer to this question?
I don't. No, see, that's why I was asking. I kept looking for the wrong thing. So the first thing I did was looked for something partners of history, and they brought up all these these couples, and what I was looking for was like who was the best fuck of history, and so I wasn't getting any answers on that. So then I was like, who had the biggest dick in history, or like famous dicks of
Milton
history?
Berle,
Apparently Milton Berle, but when I looked up famous dicks of history, I got enough material to get me through
current
the next
administration,
the next couple of paragraphs, and discovered Milton Berle, but also that Rasputin, who the Russian guy, who was maybe had some magic or something. I think he's in that movie, the Anastasia. He apparently had a weird dick.
Anastasia, the animated film.
Yes, the one about the Russian princess.
The Don Bluth produced,
yes,
I believe.
Yes, I think Christopher Lloyd plays a version of the actual historical figure Rasputin in that. I don't think we ever see his dick.
Anastasia, you gotta come back with me. Something's gotta be done about your kids.
Maybe that's where the princess went. You know, that was the big thing. It was tons of people after the Russian royal family were murdered.
We don't become assholes or anything.
No, so apparently there was something about his dick, and she made the character in my chapter made a Lorena Bobbitt joke, which was
very current, yeah.
Well, would it make sense because she was growing up in the 90s? The character was.
Oh, okay.
So I got that. So I got enough stuff to get me through the rest of the writing day. But I'm glad I asked that question, because even if it doesn't yield results right away, it may give me enough stuff to get me all the way through the rest of the chapter when I pick it up next week.
Well, up until the current one, I think the worst president was William Henry Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the general consensus up until right now.
So you're saying you would have sex with William Henry Harrison?
Yeah. So just so he'd have something else going for him.
That he'd be known as the
second worst president, and was also fucked by Steve.
Yeah, he'd be, his reputation would be so bad.
I would bite the bullet and fuck a guy, so just to give that guy a break.
Just to give him a break. Okay. Yeah, I have to find some way to work that in now. Like not Steve, but like a guy. Like I can't, or I guess it could be somebody who wouldn't normally.
I'm hoping that he would want it, because
right.
If he doesn't want it, then obviously,
Yeah, no, it has to be consensual. Yeah. So somebody who doesn't normally fuck men would have to say that line. I just have to think. I have to keep thinking like who might know enough about history and be interested in presidents that they would say what you just said.
Might have to do some research to find out if it was, but I believe it was William Henry Harrison.
WHH, yeah. That's it. I mean, do you have a non-jokey answer? Is there?
I don't know. Like,
it's a weird question. After I asked it, I wasn't sure that I'd get any responses at all. Because I think people are probably out there thinking, Chris is a little sex crazed lately. Like,
what about Mary? Because that shit was tight.
Wait, who?
Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. Not after she had Jesus.
Oh, yes. Mary's already in the novel though, so.
Never mind that.
Yeah. She and the Little Drummer Boy are in the.
Parumpa pum pum.
Not in that way. No. There's a sweet section about Mary and the Little Drummer Boy and Jesus. I thought that I had to maybe put in something that was nice about Jesus, given that I had a doll of the baby Jesus beaten up in the previous book. So
okay. Well, that's good. If you lost any of those people reading that, they're not coming back for. Well, maybe he'll be nice to Jesus.
Maybe he'll be nice to Jesus this time. What about Jesus?
Yeah, no.
No, you wouldn't fuck Jesus?
I don't think so. That would be kind of weird.
Yeah. He might wash your feet, right? Isn't that a thing he does?
I don't know.
I think he washes people's feet.
I'm not that versed on the New Testament.
Yeah.
I mean, when I would every so once in a while have a lark.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm gonna read my copy of the Bible, and I'd read like some of Genesis, and I'd be like, fuck this. And when I get to the Begots, and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Yes, that's the best part, the Begots. The Begots are the best part. Can that be the time? The Begots are the best part.
Yeah. Well, I don't eat bread anymore.
You are just on fire today. I just gotta say that I just maybe it's that I'm setting you up better. Maybe it's just that you just got it in you.
I try, Chris.
The Begots are the best part. Mary or Mary Magdalene.
No, let's just
let's
talk about the
anymore.
Bible anymore.
Let's not go throughout all of history.
What's the name of some other historical figures? Milo? Yeah. Milo?
Yeah.
Coors?
Yeah. I would,
Jim Cook. I'd fuck Jim Cook from Sam Adams.
Sam Adams.
Because he loves smelling hops.
What about Sam Adams?
And my balls smell like hops.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a question. Maybe. Hey, if you're listening and you have an answer to that question.
That isn't a joke.
Yeah. No, jokes are fine.
It could be
too.
joke. It could be a joke. It could be a serious answer.
Yeah. Especially, maybe, well, no. I was gonna say if you're a couple, you could say like who would be the person, like you're not somebody who'd ever be into into a threesome or anything involving a third party, but if you could go back in history, is there like one person you would pick, or I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Any way you want to slice it. The thing is, Steve, can I tell you
what is the thing, Chris?
I am way too nervous about this book. And so I get to parts like this where I've got to write about sex, and I come up with some weird conceit, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck it up, and I need to go ask for everybody's permission, and make sure that if I get enough permission, I won't fuck it up.
Chris,
I don't know.
I hate to break it to you, but there's a chance, even with people of color or women or gay folk reading your book and giving you a thumbs up.
Yeah,
there are still people of those groups that are not gonna like it.
Yeah, that's it.
So you can't fret about it too much. You are doing the due diligence.
Yeah,
which is, I think, admirable.
Right, but
you can't please everybody.
You remember a week or two ago, and I talked about that article I found on.
Is gay folk also okay to say?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess queer folk would be more inclusive, but
queer folk.
The thing
queer as folk.
So I would love. I mean, I don't know if we have anybody out there who is queer, but like, I would love to know.
And we're not, so we're dumb and we say the wrong things sometimes. Yeah. Just so you know.
But I feel like
we're not doing it intentionally.
I get this sense that over time, and maybe it's always been this way, and I just noticed it more recently, gay has come to really more specifically refer to men. And you've got that gay women, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you kind of have I don't know. I feel confused sometimes when I'm looking it up. Like you search for gay stuff and it's all about men and not about women. And you're supposed to, specifically be talking about lesbians, or is queer the thing that goes over everybody? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
know.
It's just overwhelming, Chris.
I just want to make sure I get everything right.
You're doing your due diligence, and that's fine.
And yet, I feel like, you remember, so a couple weeks ago, I was talking about the, fuck.
Talking about the fuck?
Oh, about the fuck. You remember talking about the fuck, right?
No.
No, the rejection-sensitive dysphoria. I brought up this article that I found.
Oh,
that I also brought up with my therapist.
Is it therapy time?
No.
It's therapy time.
Therapy smoker.
Oh yeah, that one. Bye, Chris.
Got to do it live for now. No. Just, but I wonder, did I pick the wrong avocation or vocation or whatever my writing is at this point? By where, like, if I'm somebody who is deeply afraid of rejection, I'm in the wrong business in a sense.
Okay, so any business you're ever going to be in, Chris, you're going to be faced with rejection. Like, regardless of whether it's because of something you've done creatively or if it's something you've done, like, just, as part of your job function.
Right. I guess. You think Helen of Troy faced rejection?
No, everybody fucking wanted to fuck her.
See, that was the part that I really liked about that suggestion, is the person made it as a joke, I think. But I immediately was like, what? That's a really interesting question. Like, what did Helen of Troy deal with even before everybody was lusting all after her? Maybe at a certain point, nobody was lusting after her.
Did she have wings on her shoes? Did people have wings on their shoes back then, or was that only Hermes? What is this voice I'm doing?
I don't know. Did people have wings on their shoes, or was that just Hermes? I feel like it was just
Hermes. He was the messenger god.
Or is it Hermes?
At least it's not herpes.
Hermes is the name of those fancy watch straps you can get for your Apple Watch. I think Hermes does lots of other... Hermes scarves. That's the other thing.
They make scarves and wristwatch bands?
I think they make scarves and wristwatch bands. Maybe they make stuff for BDSM. I don't know. If they're if they kind of do ropey, choky type things, maybe...
The old ropey chokey.
What does Hermes do? I don't know. I just know that they're pronounced Hermes. And when they were... when we started carrying... I think they might do bags and stuff like that, too. Just fancy stuff in general. And I think we carried them... at the Apple Store during the end of my tenure there, and I always wanted to say Hermes.
as well as the bondage rope.
Oh yeah, that was in the back room, but you could definitely run her for it.
Okay,
yeah.
Could I get a runner for the 65 feet of bondage rope?
Yeah, we wanted in space gray, and then we want another 65
they had other colors, Chris. You can do this.
Space gray is the only one I can
Rose
think
gold?
Of. Rose gold.
There we go.
Rose gold. We want 65 feet of rose gold rope, please. And we'd like an
iPad holder.
An eye braider. That's interesting. An eye braider.
Eye grater?
An eye braid. I think they're getting away from the Apple stuff, so it would probably just be an Apple vibrator. But
eye braider.
Eye braider.
Oh, I thought you said grater.
No, it's an eye braider. So I, like lowercase I, capital B. It doesn't have completely slick. Just comes in white, like me.
Except for when you're on the beach for too long.
No, I just comes in white. That was
everybody comes in white, Chris.
No buttons, right? I don't know what else. What other Apple jokes to make? I'm out. You tell me you keep seeing sequels.
Nice segue.
That would be another.
I heard a guy that bought a Segway accidentally
really?
died because he went off a cliff in a Segway.
On a Segway?
Very ironic death. Don't you think?
Oh, I really do think. It's almost as ironic as rain on your wedding day, Steve.
Yeah, that is irony right there.
Yeah.
That is certainly irony and not something else.
Yeah.
I went to see a movie with my wife on Valentine's Day. We went to see Happy Death Day to You.
Happy Death Day to You. Now, this is this
This is a sequel to
it's got
Happy Death Day.
And it's got the number 2 where there should be the word 2.
Right.
Okay. So Happy Death Day 2 is the U like just a U?
It is a U.
Oh,
just the letter
Jesus
U.
Christ. Okay. I got to correct my notes here. All right. And so who stars in this motion picture? What's it about?
There is not a star in this motion picture.
There's nobody in it?
Well, there's people in it, but I don't know who they are. Like
right.
they're like in the original, they were relatively unknown.
Oh, okay.
I think they might have done some stuff since. I apologize for not knowing.
Okay. But what's
I very much did enjoy the first movie, and the second one was okay.
What was the gist of the first one?
First one is basically Groundhog Day.
Oh, okay.
And the protagonist keeps on getting killed, and so basically her Groundhog Day is trying to figure out who's murdering her.
I feel like I've seen this. Yes, I feel like I've seen the trailers for this or something. Ooh, this looks creepy.
With the baby face.
Yes, yeah. This looks very creepy. Okay,
but it's one of those. It's very tongue in cheek. It can be brutal, but it's the kind of modern horror movie that I enjoy.
Yeah,
because I like some camp in my horror. I don't like straight up just like, here's another jump scare, and here's another jump scare, and here's another thing. Yeah. Like write something fun. Like, they did the first one, it was okay. The second one, they went where they could with it.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know.
Jessica Roth is the she was born Jessica Rothenberg, and now she's Jessica Roth. Oh, she was in La La Land. Okay. Interesting.
Well, so it's not like she hasn't been in pitches.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed her very much in the first one. Less so in the second one. That's usually what happens with a sequel. I mean, it's very sequels, like with most like media that is made. Well, actually, no. It's weird. Like if you look at most television shows, like the first season tends not to be great. Yeah. I mean, usually it's good enough to get people into it.
Right.
But then the second season, the sophomore effort of a television show is usually leaps and bounds better.
I would agree.
But then for some reason with film, it's always the opposite.
Godfather 2, Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's not always, but yes, the rule is
wrong.
That's why those two stand out.
You're naming exceptions, not the rule.
Right. No, sequels are hard.
Especially, I don't know, maybe because you have more time to tell a story with like a second season of a television show, so it tends to be better. And then you because the first season you're just trying to figure out who the characters are.
Yeah. And
with a film, like you have to do that in like the first fucking half an hour, if not less.
I wonder how much of it with the so this is, I'm gonna get dorky and creator dorky here for a second. I wonder how much of it is that with a TV show you don't have enough time to stew over your own brilliance or your insecurities about your brilliance, because you have to get started making the second season pretty damn fast. And so there's a thing obviously in so books are what I'm thinking of. Films call the sophomore slump, right? So somebody who has a huge debut then feels the pressure, especially if it's sort of an auteur, if we're talking about film, feels a lot of pressure to make their next film be really, really good. And I wonder if, not that TV producers don't have that pressure, but they have to start right away. As soon as they find out that they're renewed, they have to get going. Whereas somebody could have a lot of years between films or between, before their next sequel, their next film or sequel, and just have too much time to be in their own head.
Kind of like a Kubrick thing, because he made so few movies at the end of his life. I mean, he made Kubrick.
I really thought you said Kubert.
Yeah,
and then
Kubert.
You started talking about it. I was like,
the snake jumped on his head, and he had the little square squiggles.
I thought you were about to tell me about some hidden part of video game history that I didn't
Stanley
know about.
Kubrick.
Okay.
Kubrick.
Okay.
Kubrick, however you want to fucking say his name.
Okay. Yes, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
He he did make fewer films as he got older. His last one was Eyes Wide Shut.
And he was supposed to make AI.
That was his. Oh.
It was supposed to be him, but then Spielberg was like, I guess I'll make it. And
interesting.
Then Haley Joel Osment, before he was Sora from Kingdom Hearts, was in that one.
Yeah. That's what he's most known for.
Yeah, Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Not after he was the little kid who saw dead people.
Yes, no.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this the thing is this isn't technically my second book, but I am feeling
this is
nervous
your junior year. This was the hardest year for me in high school. So
yeah, I don't know. Junior year, sophomore year felt like it was the toughest year. I mean, freshman year just sucked, and then sophomore year probably. I don't know. Maybe freshman. I don't know. Maybe none of them were that bad. I don't know.
I think the only one that I like legit enjoyed was senior year.
I did well. Yeah. I mean,
it's maybe because it's the closest to like my memory.
Right. Right.
Whereas like I don't remember that much, and occasionally don't remember a person, and then they yell at me for the entire reunion.
Not that that's ever.
We brought that up recently because we were driving by like the place where our reunion was.
Oh, where the reunion was, yeah.
And I was on Valentine's Day, and I was like, remember how mad she was? And Becky was like, yep.
Yeah, I go by all the time the place where my post office box is right across from for the business is right across from where I was told I was the hottest guy in the room. So every
I mean, you could walk into the Hong Kong and probably relive that.
No. I was told that I was the. Oh, sorry. No, it's behind it. I was told I was the hottest guy in the room at the fucking place next door. Hong Kong was the after party. So the place.
No, but like on any given day, I think you could walk into the Hong Kong and be
the hottest guy.
Probably be the hottest guy in that room.
It's true. It's most days. Yeah, I should try that. I liked that one night being the hottest guy in the room. I mean,
I don't think anybody's going to tell you it because there are going to be a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, but I'll know.
Like, and one of them is going to be except for one of them being your dad.
I was going to say, I have very low self-esteem, but in certain cases, I think I would know that I was the hottest guy in the room.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was not at my high school reunion, which is part of what made that story so funny.
Okay.
Right, she just really wanted to sleep with me. I mean, she was drunk and she was hitting on me, and she said it multiple times. Everyone else who was there has tried to tell me like that's what was going on, and I was like, "Is it? I guess."
Yeah. Well, it's probably good that you were oblivious.
Yes, it is very good that I am oblivious.
What was that?
I don't know. No, I was just trying. I want to tell me about Super Troopers 2? No.
Oh yeah, that was another movie.
I mean, I just wrote down Steve keeps on seeing sequels.
Well, no, because I saw two of them.
Yeah, because yes, you saw two of them, and then I was going to bring up the Grimes of Grindelwalls, and see, I said it.
No,
now it can be the title.
I don't want it to be.
Okay, all right, fine.
Like, I think like Super Troopers 2 was one of those movies that like I think there was like some sort of crowdfunding for it.
That never goes well.
No, but it's the
Says
same.
The guy with a Patreon.
It's the same people that did it. It's not like it was written by other people.
Right.
It was like the folks from Broken Lizard, I think, is the.
It's not nice to break a lizard.
The troupe, the sketch,
Super troupe?
the sketch troupe that they that's their handle. And I don't know, like they did every sequel trope they could possibly do.
Yeah.
And like all they had to do was just not do that.
Oh, gotcha.
And like
those have puppets? Am I thinking of the right film?
No, that was something else.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I was thinking.
I actually want to see that damn puppet murder mystery movie just to see how bad it is.
What is that one?
Actually, no. What is wrong with me?
You don't want to see it.
I don't. Like, I have I've said it before on the show. Like, I have a soft spot for bad movies.
Right.
But I have a soft spot for bad movies that are made by somebody who thinks they're making a good movie.
Okay. So they're not. You don't.
I think that's the thing about bad movies, and where things like Sharknado and like those like sci-fi like we heard that there's a movie coming out, let's make a fucking bad version of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
that stuff
for sci-fi original, like I despise. But like the just random like, hey, I got this, I want to have this idea, I'm going to make this movie, and it's great, and then it turns out being a piece of shit, but the passion that is behind that Them not thinking that this is garbage, and I think the energy that gets put into that makes a bad movie better.
Right. Somewhere in the middle there, I just realized a missed plot opportunity that I missed this morning. So now I have to remember it until we're done recording.
How much time do we have?
We got like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
We could stop now.
We could. I mean,
we've given people
plenty of content.
And plenty of we've gone over.
Yeah, we've done
over an hour.
Yeah,
and I think people,
I don't think we've said anything today that I need to cut out. So we're.
Did you cut stuff out last week?
Yes. There's a whole section.
I know.
I did leave in the part where you're like, "Are you going to cut this part out too?" Because that I thought was funny.
Okay.
The part where we're discussing what I just cut out. Not actually just yeah.
Yeah, because then that defeats the purpose, Chris.
No, we're discussing the notion that I have cut something out, not what I did cut out.
All right.
You got to cut it out. Yeah, Dave Coulier. How you feel about Dave Coulier? He's the one who popularized the cut it out.
Yeah, he also popularized getting gone down on in a theater.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that that's him.
It's
the urban legend.
Yeah, the urban legend is it's him, but I don't know. Well, they're both Canadian.
They are, and those Canadians, they like to keep it.
Oh, that's another thing about Super Troopers too. Like everybody that was a Canadian in that movie just had the worst fucking accent ever. And I don't know if it's like they were like, oh, let's try for just do the worst accent you could possibly, like French Canadian accent you could possibly do.
I can't remember. I remember I watched part of Yoga Hosers. Did you watch?
I watched the entire thing.
How were the accents in that?
They were bad.
They were bad.
Johnny Depp was returning from his role as the French Canadian guy from
in Tusk.
From Tusk,
which I still haven't seen.
Yeah.
That was a few minutes ago. You mentioned Groundhog Day.
Did I say Johnny Damon or Johnny Depp?
You said Johnny Depp.
Okay. Johnny Damon was in it. He was hitting grand slams against the Yankees, kid.
A few minutes ago, you mentioned Groundhog Day, and I this week, within the last month or so, I don't think we've talked about this. I watched a video by a guy who I support on Patreon. The channel's called Lessons from the Screenplay, and he did a video on Groundhog Day,
which is a great film,
which I've never seen. and I was like, oh, I need to remember to bring that up on the show so I could get that exasperated sigh on audio.
I'm not gonna get mad at you anymore. It's not worth my energy.
It's not on purpose. I just never saw it.
I don't know how that was like. That would be like, because that came out like I think 92, 93.
Yeah,
that would have been a perfect like date movie for you to like.
Well, I didn't go on any dates until 1994,
which was the next year.
Well, yeah. Even then, I had really bad.
But that would just maybe you had a friend that was a lady that you might wanted.
I didn't have any friends.
Okay, well.
No, I don't. I at some point, maybe I should go to my therapist and be like, I know we've got all this important stuff that we're working on, stuff that makes me cry and that makes me have to leave work for 2 days, which I did this week. But I really want to get to the bottom of why I missed so many seminal movies of the 1980s and 90s.
Splooge little movies.
It'd be great to understand what it was. How did I miss all of these movies? Was it that I was looking forward into the future and I said, if I miss this movie, which seems like it's going to be important, I will be able to be antagonistic towards friends in the future, and that antagonism will
create a good thing for the podcast. Episode 225.
Yes, so back then I just knew I was going to need material for the last 5 minutes of episode 225, and so I just never watched Groundhog Day.
You're a fucking seer.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/225. My fucking computer is not unlocking for me. Okay.
Oh, no, you can't end the show then.
No, there we go. Okay, thank you. Every once in a while, it forgets that the watch is on my wrist. And the watch is on my wrist, in part, not so I can get healthy, but because it lets me unlock my computer without doing anything.
Your watch is on your wrist. My bum is on the rail.